בוקר טוב, ברוך השם אנחנו נמצאים בבית מדרש של רב דוד, והיה לנו a night of being awakened. אני הזכרתי, I go to sleep. Last night I went to sleep at 11, and I figured to get 3.5 hours sleep, I get up at 2:30, because Rab David in his chesed picks me up at 3:30. We get to the kotel as early as possible, so that would be of the first 50. And lo and behold, his Ori! At 1 o'clock in the morning, there is a red alert, a azaka. Well, actually, it's not the azaka yet. It's just a warning, and your phone goes wild. And of course you awaken, and you're supposed to have something like 10-20 minutes till the real sirens come. And during the day, we've had a few of them during the day. You have the warning, but there is no siren, because for whatever reason, I think they did knock out a certain of the installation. There was a moment when the satellites were not in good shape. Anyway, so it turns out that there really was a siren, which meant that you had to wait until they all clear. So my sleep from 11 to 1 turned out to be from 2 to 2:30, and I got up, Baruch Hashem, and I was able to go to the Kosel Maravi, and lo and behold, as we get to the kotel, my phone was not alerted, but then they said, you got it, there's an alert. And we made our way up also those stairs, and we finally got into the kotel, parked ourselves, and sure enough, they tell us we got to go out to the miklat. So in order to go to the miklat, you have to go in the open air, which is sort of like a little crazy, and climb some more stairs. And anyway, Baruch Hashem, I just wanted to start with his Ori. We say that on Leil Shabbos, in the Kabbalah Shabbos, but Yeshayahu, Perek Samech, Pasuk Aleph, Kumi Ori, Kiva Orech. That's from the Pasuk. And then we say, Kumi Ori, Shir Daberi, Kvod Hashem, Alayich Nigla. The Chidah on that Pasuk says that it's really, Kumi Ori is Likrat HaGeula. So, if people are saying that we are in messianic times, so just be CP to Yeshua. There is a Yeshua at the end of the line. They keep saying, what's the plan? What's the after plan? Everybody talks about it. We know what the after plan is. Mashiach Tzidkenu. That's what we do. CP to Yeshua. Anyway, I also wanted to start the share with mentioning the names of the two in Yehud. There was a pigua. They were Odim, they were laborers, and it turns out that they were not in a Shelo Shahu, the Merchav Mugan, and they were unfortunately killed by the pigua on the 9th, 2 days ago. And their names, if I could read it, is Postam Goliob, who's 61 years old from Petach Tikva, and Amid Murtavitzat, 40 years old from Petach Tikva, Hashem Yimkam Damam. Today is Chaf Beis Adar, and it's the yahrzeit of the Aruch HaShulchan, who I happen to be learning my kviyas this year. I'm in the middle of Yeridea, and Mir Hashem, I'm going to make 4 Siyumim in El and Tishrei for my parents and my in-laws on the Aruch HaShulchan, and the Mechaber is Yechiel Michal Halevi Epstein. Today is also the yahrzeit of Avraham David ben Zalman Sender Kahana Shapiro, and also the yahrzeit of Rafael Reuven ben Shimshon Grozovsky. I think Rosh Hashiva and Torah Vodas. But we'll talk about them. I think we of course were Tehillim, because we move pretty quickly here. I'm going to do it when we get to my next stop. And today I have enough space, so it's not going to stop in the middle. You won't have any interruptions. We'll talk about the Aruch HaShulchan Rabbi Yechiel Michal ben Reb Aaron Yitzchak Halevi Epstein Nolad Boborisk in Minsk. Now, do you know any of these places? Are you geographic?
He's the father of the Torah Tamim.
Correct, Epstein. But I'm just asking, do you know where Minsk is and all these places?
Belarus.
What?
Belarus.
Could I ask where you, von Wannen stammt there, and where does Rav David go?
Polish.
Polish. Was he in Poland? I'm from Grodno Gubernia. Where are you from?
South of Poland.
South of Poland. What's the name of the shtetl? No, you don't know. Okay, South Poland. In those days, was it the Pale? There's what was right Russia. My father, Oliver Shalom, actually spoke Polish. He knew Polish, and he came when he was 7 years old, came to US of A. So anyway, I won't tell you the words that he taught me because I don't know if it, it's not cleared on this channel. Anyway, it was interesting. Nolad, he was born in 1829, Elf Shmonot Esrim V'Teish Niftar, Nova Grodzic, B'Yom Chafbeid Adar Shezeh Yom B'Elf Shamot Shmona Motza Mimishpachat Epstein Hayam Gdolei Sfarad. Shem Mishpacha Haya Benevesti. I bet you didn't know that.
Benevesti.
Benevesti. That's right. And here it says Kishehegia Le'ir Epstein.
Took the name from the city.
Germania. Nikra'u Al Shem Ha'ir. That's many people.
So all the Epsteins are because they came from Epstein.
That would seem so. Let me ask you something. Do you know where the name Goldhar comes from? No?
Vaguely.
Looks at Ritholtz, I really vaguely also know my name. It's interesting how
Somebody had blonde hair and white.
Oh, gold hair. Okay, that's interesting. Is that for real?
As far as I know.
Oh, okay. Here we are. Okay. So again, we thank Rav David, and let me just, we don't have a. Here we are again in the Chov Rashba in Diskin, the corner, and we're out in the open. Let's hope there's no interruptions. And we're talking about Yechiel Michal Halevi Epstein the Baal Aruch HaShulchan, and we were saying how the name Benevishti, because they went to the ear Epstein, they adopted that name. Mishpacha Yechiel Michal Haitami Gezer Reb Aryeh Leib Epstein Rabba Shel Kenigsburg the Baal HaPardes Imo Haita Achalto Shel Netziv Naftali Tzvi Berlin Achrei Netziv Be'yotov Kiven Chemishim Hit Almein Nishto Harishona Bito Shel Yitzchak Volozhin Nisa et Batya Miro Bito Shel Yechiel Michal שהייתה צעירה ממנו ב-30 שנה, אבל השתוקקה להינשא לראש ישיבה. ההצעה באה מאחיה רב ברוך אפשטיין, התורה תמימה, שלמד אצל הנציב. אחרי פטירת הנציב, הלכה לארץ ישראל בוקר טוב. רבי יחיאל מיכל היה כולו שקוע, אך ורק בתורה. הסיפור הבא מדגים עד כמה התרחק מעולם הגש ואשתו ניהלה את החנות שלהם, אבל רישיון העסק היה על שמו. פעם הודיע לו שפקיד הממשלה יגיע אליו להיות בחנות. באותו שעה פגשו אותו יהודים, התהלך בעברו שכנראה מחפש דבר מה. שאלו, מה כבוד הרעב מחפש? הוא ענה בתמימות, את חנותי אני מחפש. He didn't even know where his own store was. רבי יחיאל מיכל פנה בשחרותו אל המסחר, תוך קביעת עיתים לתורה. He tried to make a living and also learn Torah. אבל רבא של בברוסק, רבי אליהו גולדברג, מתלמידי רב חיים מוולוז'ין, התפעל בהתקשרותו, התפעל מכך, he was astonished by his lumdus, ומעלת רוחו של רבי יחיאל מיכל, ושכנע את הוריו, and convinced his parents like Disho Kulo Amal Torah Yan Ki Matzabo Kli Muksha Kivo Yisua Hashem et Bircha Birchas Torah in Kol Hodah Kvod Ora. Yechiel Michal Lamad Bevolozhin Esor Reb Yitzchak Milozhin Mishnat 1842 התחיל להגיד שיעורים לפני התלמידים ופלוגים בתורה ב-1862 התמנה לרב בנובוסיבירסק. שם התקרב רב מנחם מנדל מלובביץ'. בעל הצמח צדק, ממנו קיבל גם סמיכה. בשנת 1874, עד יום מותו היה רבו של נברליק. כמה וכמה רבנים גדולים נסמכו על ידו של רבי חיל מיכל, כמו רבי איסר זלמן מלצר, אברהם יצחק הכהן קוק, רבי חזקאל אברמסקי. בדרך לימודו העדיף את בקיאות על חריפות. Sinai instead of Oker Haran. ממי כל רבי יוסף הקר לא נמצא מי שיכתוב פסקי הלכה על כל ארבע התורים בהיקף עצום כמו גיבורי אורך השולחן. ומי הרמב"ם לא נמצא מי שיכתוב פסקי הלכה שהן נוגעות בזמננו בהיקף כמו השולחן ערוך לאותי, which is on Kachim and how the Shulchan Aruch and how the Avodah and the Beis HaMikdash. The Nosaf Chiber, besides the Aruch HaShulchan, or Yishorim, al Sefer Yashar Revinatam, Droshos mi Beis Levi, Leil Shimurim, al Agoda Shal Pesach, Kitzer, Hashalosh, or Bishua Levi, Aharus. Kvar Bishua Rishon, Rabbi Nato, Ben Nevardik, in Hi Kabbalah Shabbos, Vivs Arvish, or Shabbos, Maybe Od Yom. I thought he'd not do as Azar. I'm sure it's interesting that when they are Makabel Shabbos early in Israel, they call it an American Kabbalah Shabbos. Why did he wanted to make sure they weren't Makabel Shabbos, so he made sure they were Makabel Shabbos early. Hishtaresh Nimukro Haitashem Yakashem Rakebes Benavardik and Golgim Hevil at Ovim Shovim Miracle Rabbi Takamerican and Nogo Yalu the ear they Kabosha Muklam and Navardik is the Reza Gulim the Gama Eglon Akon and Gear Kodim Hasheka Vesa. Because if you make an early Shabbos, everybody will make an effort, the trains and the agalot, the wagons, to come on time. Now, Mishayael brings from the Aruch HaShulchan, Gam Yesh Tam Gadol B'Dvar, Ragdim Arvis Shal Shabbos, Nehinei Tfilas Arvis, Tiknu Keneged Evorim Poronim, Shekrivu B'Laylam Lasmid, Mitomid, Shabbein Raboim, Rata, Hari Asher B'Laylo Hakuv, Keretziv Ol Shabbos Rabboto. Below Olas Achol B'Shabbos and Cain the Hechra so Kriva Agorim B'Rodim Yom Lachein Gamat Tfilas Inegol B'Yom. So that's a good reason to be Makabel Shabbos early. Today, as I mentioned, is the outside of Rabbi W. Zalman Sender Kahana Shapiro Nolad Be'el Shmonot Shivim V'Niftar Be'elef Shramot Avim Shalosh Elef Shamaot Abim Shalosh Itchatein B'Gil 21 ובגיל 26 היה רב של סמולוביץ. בגיל 43 מינה כרבה של קובנה, וגם שימש כראש אגודת הרבנים דליטא. He also תלמיד ישיבת וולוז'ין, פעיל בחובבי ציון, בית כנסת ישראל. ב-1917 השתתף באירס יסוד of Agudas Yisrael. He was one of the founding members of Agudas Yisrael. Who chiber shel Shuvas Var Avraham Sharat Taharat HaMishpacha. I mentioned that today is also the yahrzeit of Rafael ben Shimshon Grozovsky. Nolad ב-1886 ונפטר ב-1958. נולד במינסק, למד בישיבת סלובודקה, התחתן עם בת ברוך בר ליבוביץ, בבית השמואל, מתמנה בראש נשיאות ישיבת כנסת בייס יצחק קמיניץ. ב-1940 היגר, emigrated to the United States, outside of Brit, and he was active in Vad Hatzola, מתמנה כראש ישיבת תורה ודס, וגם ראש ישיבת בייס מדרש עליון מונסי BME. נכח הוא חיבר חידושי רב ראובן, אמר רב ראובן. Okay, so that's it for the yahrzeits today. Before we proceed to Nidchei Yisrael, to the סיום of Perek Lamed Zayin, I think we should mention some of the cholim and have a list of not only, I think today is the heart surgery of Nituach Lev of Shlomo Yosef ben Simon. We should have a successful surgery of Refuah Shlema. It's also Gershom David ben Golda should have a refuah. Avram Yitzchak ben Simon should have a refuah. Chana Bas Isha, all of them should have a refuah. And the list of those who were Sisim as Eyal ben Meirav, Eyal ben Karen, Ariel ben Esther, Benia ben Hil, David ben Sima, Yanon ben Uriah, Orik, Yonon ben Hadassah, Matan Mordechai ben Meira. Now I heard, it's Metanael ben Sipia. I think his name is Metanael Krieger, and he came in with no blood pressure, heartbeat. They really felt he was enosh, as they say. He was gone. And Baruch Hashem, after surgeries, he actually opened his eyes, and he was able to say Moda Ani Lefanecha and Shema Yisrael. In other words, he thanked the Kadosh Baruch Hu for being around. He's still in very critical condition. Along with the others that I've mentioned, they should have a Fush Lema, Ben Natalia, and Raz Ben Mili. They should all have a Fush Lema. Okay, so now let's go to the סיום of Perek Lamed Zayin. Misha Yesh Alechol Kazayas Pas B'Sura Shlisha B'Shas Etzchak Misha E.F. We're talking about how it's important to have Lechem Mishnah for the first two meals, and then when it comes to Surah Shlishit, you can get away with the Kikar Echad. When we talked about what happens if you don't even have a Kikar, you don't have a Pas. So they say Yesh the smoke. They say the Minei Mazonas. There's a heter to say Mazonas, and I told you there's even those who say with the Dvar Torah, in Ein Lo a Kopon Yoch. And if he doesn't even have mazonos, yochel peros, that he can even have fruits. Everyone should make an extreme effort to at least have some pas, bamrinan, and it says in the Gemara Shabbos, Kuf Yud Ches Amud Aleph, Kol HaMakayim Gimel Sudas B'Shabbos, whoever has 3 squares, 3 full meals on Shabbos, Mitzo Mishos Peronius, he's saved from the travails, from the pains of Chevlei Shemashiach. We're talking about the Chevlei Mashiach. Chevlei Mashiach. Medina Shel Gehenim. Milchemes Gog Magog. Chevlei Lashon. Chevlei Leila, like the labor pains. That's what the Chevlei Mashiach. Who needs all the Chavalim all these pains. I mean, it should be so for the Mashiach, but you don't have to go through the Gog Magog and all that. So you always use Kelion, should have schus for the days of Mashiach. Mashiach calls there Raya Mikra, and he brings, the Chavetz Chaim brings, the Gemara has a Raya for every one of these, Peronius, that the Gemara mentions the psukim that relate to it. Okay, that's it for Perek Lamed Zayin. Now we go to Perek Lamed Ches. What's the heading of the chapter? Bo Yivur Go to Archiyam Shalimit Torah Yom Shabbos. Everybody knows that Shabbos is Shena, b'Shabbos Tanug. They know that it's a good time to have a shluf. I always say I have a chavrusa with the malachim, but the truth of the matter is, I know there's a member of my family who doesn't believe in Shabbos, doesn't believe in sleep. He believes in Shinun. He believes in Chazorah, and he spends all the extra time learning Torah, which is what you're supposed to do. Amr Chazal. It's brought down in Pnei Halacha Shabbos Hey Aleph and the Medrash Atur Simon Shei Tzadik Sefer Atur. Amr Chazal Shal Torah Shola Hashem Yisborach. The Torah asks the Kodesh Baruch Hu Yisrael. He comes to Eretz. When the Eretz Yisrael goes, when the Am Yisrael comes to Eretz Yisrael, Zeroth or Zaysim, someone goes to the olive tree. Zeroth, the Karmel, someone goes to his vineyard. Ani Yisrael, Ma'ani Tehelai. Where am I going to go? Eshiv Lo. Shabbos, Yeh Ben Zucha. Your partner in life will be Shabbos. Ke'en Zeh Isa Gam Ken Yerushalmi Lo. Nitna Shabbos of Yontav Yisrael El Kadei Lasa Ben Torah. Shabbos and Yontav were given to Yisrael. What kind of oneg? To learn Torah. The Indian who within the Lachtam and Svarim, all 6 days of the week, the work week, you're caught up with your studies, school, your work. You do everything, and it's very hard to learn. And you really should set aside, like right now, we're setting aside time to learn Torah. Well, guess what? It's very tough. The Shabbos and Purim, you don't have an excuse on Shabbos. And therefore you have all the day Lasot B'divrei Torah. It says in Gittin over here, there's a typo. It says Lamed Vav in the text, but it's really Lamed Ches Lamed Beis. Atchlat, Mili, Nafti, Balabayit, Nechasai. 3 things cause a person to lose his material possessions. One of them is the Kavi Su'uda B'Shabbos, the Edom Bein Mikdash. People go to eat meals at Shabbos Suda, which is a mitzvah, but they do it at a time when there's a shir in the Beis Medrash. Hainu, B'Shah Shadoshim Beis Medrash, Divrei Torah Rabin, Achar Shena, Kanog B'Zmanenu. You know, after your shluf, you could have a shluf, and you can go after your shluf, you go to your shir. That's a good thing to do on Shabbos. What do you do instead? You decide to have a snack, you decide to spend time talking. Yagdim also, you know what? If you're really hungry, make your suda before the shir, or achar, so after the shir. In other words, make sure that you can attend the shir. V'zeh hachocha megula. This is an open reproof. Ba'osan Hashem shemitaylim. This is really to give you musar for those people who not only don't even do a sudas mitzvah, they just go around hiking. They say, oh, Shabbos is a good, let's take a walk. But during the shir, b'shukim, and they even go to marketplaces, go window shopping, rochovos, and they just hang out in the streets. Ki afilu suda Shabbos shehi mitzvah. Even we're telling you that a sudas Shabbos, which is a mitzvah asur, you should not schedule it at a time of the shir as mitnei bitul Torah, because you are being mevatel Torah. You have a shir on Shabbos, go to it. Surely, if a person is not supposed to have a suda, which is a mitzvah, surely you're not supposed to waste your time bitul Torah by taking hikes and not attending the shir. Omer Mishlei Perigimel Pasuk Vav B'chol D'Rachel D'Aheu. The beginning of the Orach Chaim Shulchan Aruch. You're supposed to know in every way. You're supposed to know Kadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael Chasef, and you will go and He will make sure that your ways are okay. Kavana Shebachol Pu'ulosav Sha'oser Da'asakov U'Binyanav. In all your actions, you know, you go to work every day. Yechaven Sharotza Listarka Kedei Shiyuko Labra V'Shem Yisborach. Everything that you do in life, you sleep, you eat, you go to work, you make money. It's all so that you have the ability. You want to be well, so that you have the ability to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu by learning Torah, by davening, and by doing Chesed. The many things that you can do, and that's why the Nidchei Yisrael is Musar for people who went from Russia, from their homeland. They went to foreign places, that you should try to learn Torah as much as possible. And with that, I wish everyone Chaim Tovim, Yom Tov L'Kulam, and may it be a peaceful day. So I'm sorry, I left out something so very important. It shows you that Kaviyus, when you have a schedule, you should stick to it. But out of deference to Rab David, I want to say Tehillim. When we have Tzvi and we have Meir, I could do the Tehillim in the beginning of the Shir. But now, the second day, we're going to end this year with Tehillim. We are on Perek Kuf Lamed Daled. Kol Beis Yisrael, Achenu, Kol Beis Yisrael, and Sulim Zara, Zara, Vishivya, Omdim Ben Bayam Mahu, Ben Bayam Basha, Hamakom Yerachem, Yerachem Alem, Yotzim Mitzara, Lerevacha, Me'afel Yora, Umeshibud Legeula Hashla, Bagola uvizman kariv. Nomar amen. We should have in mind all our cholim, Yeshuas b'klal Yisrael, Yeshuas v'nechamos. Have a wonderful day. This is really Chaim Tovim.